And my final poem, actually I'm going to read just two more. This one I wrote last night, and it's a poem about the disaster in Japan. And one of the things that I firmly believe is important is history is always being revised, but it is always our job as people who are present in the current time to share, whether it's in poetic form, whether it's fiction or prose, or even if you're just keeping a journal, because you never know how future people, future generations are going to view our time, and if your words will be kept and will influence the way someone is thinking. I wanted to share a brief story with you before I read this poem. I had an opportunity, as we all were taught, Columbus discovered America, and, they came over here and, started the country. But history is more than the facts that you might read. And I was very blessed to read a letter that was written by one of his sailors that talked about how when they got here, they kidnapped Indian women and forced them to serve them as sex slaves. And I suddenly had a different view of history. History came alive for me. This woman's pain came alive for me in the words of this sailor as he described the things that he had done to her and how she had responded to how he had tortured her. And suddenly history was more than just facts in a book for me. And that is what I tell all of my students and all of the people that I mentor. You never know how your words are going to affect someone else. So don't be afraid to put them on paper. Don't be afraid to share them with someone else, because your words may be the spark that ignites the flame of enthusiasm in someone else. So don't be afraid to share them. This poem is entitled Concerning Japan. A displaced grain of sand caught in tsunami waves touches the lives of those who never knew of its existence. Land of the rising sun, broken, benighted by shaking earth, racing waves, falling snow, creating havoc, chaos, and death. Jewel of the Pacific Ocean, shattered by irretrievable losses, displaying immeasurable courage while holding danger at bay. White whirls race upward into blackness. The extinguished candles flame delicately since the air, and in the rainforest, a leaf falls. And my final poem, I write a lot of poetry about writing poetry, about what poetic inspiration is, what it does. And this poem was one of my favorites. It has actually been published by Indian literary website, and they have it on their website. So it's called Echoes of Poetry. If I stare at the blank page long enough, its blankness will defeat me. I must make it stop. I have spent my time hiding from the echo inside, the echo of poetry. Words form, shifting and sliding through my mind like an avalanche rushing downhill. They fountain out of the deep places, hidden places, places of darkness and light. Remaining undiscovered until a fragment of sound releases them, they bubble up in complex rhythms, grip and shake me from the stillness of sleep, demanding to be heard with brassy voices couched in mystery. Their echoes in the pretenses of my life force me to weigh my consciousness in milliseconds of time, flash through me in lightning quick strikes. Echoes of poetry deny me the complacency I see in others, drain me until the spaces inside are empty and the empty pages are filled. Thank you.